He wants 600.
Hey, everybody. We are back from the floor of the Whitman Expo in Baltimore. You might notice this young man between Mike and I. This is our friend. If you've ever paid attention to our live shows, we always talk about Jack Young and Young Jack.
This is Young
Jack. If you ever needed to know, now you know. Jack, thank you for hanging out with us.
If you didn't know, now you know.
That's right.
So Jack is now a numismatist for David Lawrence Rare Coins, DLRC.
Yep.
And tell us about the exciting world of becoming a coin dealer. I mean, because look, you're one of the newer guys. You're an up and comer. You're on the rise. But there's a lot of guys out there your age that are trying to do it, and then there are some that seemingly are doing a much better job of it. You being one of those guys. So
thank you.
So what is it that got you going? That made you decide that this is what you want for a career?
Well, first of all, I mean, some of my best friends are in coins now, so it's just fun to go to shows and just hang out with people you like to hang out with, And there's such great people in this industry, like Mike and Matt. So,
you're just sucking up.
Edit that out.
No.
Suck it up.
The whole reason I'm going to Central Station is to see my friend over here. And my other friends. So,
Whatever. Do we need to tell your boss that, or should we not?
Nah, I probably should.
Yeah, because we're friends with him now.
Yeah, we know your boss now.
Yes. But I got into coins, at a kind of young age. I was going into Harlan Burke, where Mike is at. I interned there for about a summer, a little bit over a summer maybe. And I've always worked in the area, but I just recently moved out to Virginia Beach to take a job at David Lawrence, and it's the most fun I've ever had. So
I was gonna say, now you got your big boy job.
Yeah, I got a big boy job. I got a boss now.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest difference between the way it was and the way it is now?
Definitely just the volume of stuff. You get in there, you just got to put your head down and get right into it, and put all your passion into what you're doing. And, I'm pretty good at that. So,
well, you got enough passion, that's for sure.
You are like a little truffle pig. You just run around and get on it. So
got to hunt the good deals down,
That's right. Yeah.
One of the things that I've always kind of been in awe of you and what you do is you like to crack stuff out. You're good at playing the crack out game. Maybe it's because your eyes are a lot better than mine. But.
Yeah, I used to be into cracking stuff, but now I'm more into just I like to just buy the coin certified already and sell them as is. Take out them the hassle of
you found that there's an easier way to do it, have you?
Yeah, you just retail it now.
Retail is a heck of a thing. Eric, good to see you. Good afternoon. Yeah, retail is a heck of a thing. When you embrace the retail and kind of step off the wholesale a little bit, it's a whole different can of worms. I mean, I respect it. I appreciate the wholesale side of the market because people need coins, and some people have more coins than others and have better sources to get coins than others. But when you start looking at the retail side of it, it's a whole different song and dance compared to the wholesale side.
Yeah. I mean, I used to crack out coins and, upgrade them, and you have to have an eye for quality for that. And, moving into the retail setting now, it's like, I have a good eye for quality because it's what I used to do. Right. And now I can transfer that into retail, and it's great.
It translates well.
Yeah,
yes.
It does translate well.
Well, you also have a really good way with people. And I think that comes natural to you, and you just like people in general. And so if you have a good eye and you're able to, one, notice what they bring, or two, what you're being able to sell them, that's where that translates. And I would think that a lot of the values that we instilled on you at Burke follow there.
I thought you said birth for a second. I was like, wait a minute, you were there? Dad?
He's not supposed to know that. He didn't know it until now. Thank you. His mother and I were keeping that secret.
Oh, boy.
Man.
Wow.
I can't let my mom watch this now.
No, you can't.
Sorry, Mom.
No, but so it's like I'm a proud dad watching you out there in the world, and I just think that's kind of cool.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
I feel the love.
So what have you bought at this show?
Lots of stuff. I mean, it's just all day nonstop, 10, 15-hour days, waking up at 8, going to bed at midnight or 1 o'clock, just doing deals the whole day. It's tiring. You got to have a lot of energy.
That's right.
Or a lot of monster.
Or a lot of monster.
That's right. Or both.
Yeah.
It is a whole different experience when you get to that point where you're
wait
like,
until you start mixing alcohol with it. He hasn't gotten to that point.
No.
I'm over that point.
No. No.
No.
But the funny part about Jack is I remember when he first got started, the first time I met him, and I think Mike told me about him first. He was like, "Man, we got this kid that's working for us. He's funny and he's smart."
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, cool." And then we finally met him, and it's just you've impressed the hell out of me. So
you've impressed the hell of a lot of people, but. It's like, don't let that get to your head.
Oh, look, there's Slab Daddy. And that's one of his good friends. That's one of his good friends in the industry he was talking about is Slab Daddy there. So,
hey, Slab Daddy.
Yeah, when are we going to have him on?
I don't know.
He's got to come to a show, actually.
He's got to come to a show.
Leave Illinois for once.
What was it that we were looking at last night? Was it a bunch of sample slabs?
Doilies or samples?
Oh, it's the doilies. That's right.
Doilies,
there was a huge doily deal going on.
That sounds really strange. There's a giant doily party in this house.
And you're all invited.
So what do you specialize in? Do you have a specialty there at David Lawrence, or are you just the vintage coin guy?
I'm just like the vintage coin guy. I just do what I do.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of different hats. Submissions, retail, buying, selling.
So you find yourself kind of jack of all trades.
Pretty much, young Jack
of all trades.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you learned that you didn't know by starting at one of those large, or by working at one of those big companies that you didn't know when you got there? That's not a trade secret, of course.
The importance of quality is definitely a very big thing, because if you're selling to collectors, you want to offer them the best, coins that you can, and because they want to put the best stuff in their collection. So, buying a coin that has spots or is dark or ugly, is something that you want to stay away from. Being in the wholesale side of things for a little bit, I didn't really look at the, quality like that as in depth per se.
You're just sliding coins across the counter.
Well, you're just trying to make a little more than you paid. That's
exactly. But now you actually have to sit down and actually look at every aspect of the coin, strike, luster, quality.
Do you evaluate it from the standpoint of, would this be a coin that I'd like if I was putting together a set? Is that kind of the way you do it?
Sometimes. I mean, I don't collect US, but because you can't get high on your own supplies, But
I love that.
That is the first time that's ever been mentioned.
That is never going to be said on our show ever again either. It's funny.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, I mean, when I'm looking at coins, I sometimes do say, wow, this is a piece that I would love to own, and if I would like to own it, I imagine there's somebody else out there that would love to own it too.
That's right. It's those wow coins, man. I always said.
I think it's interesting that when you first come into the hobby and you go to some of the smaller shows, the coins that you see there are not the spectacular ones. They're more of the average stuff.
And you see them over and over.
But you think that that's as good as they get.
Yeah.
Until you go to a major show, and then you start to see really high-end coins, and you start to realize, oh, okay, that's what luster on a really nice Walker looks like. That's what, red looks like on a really nice Indian head set.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I remember going to your first big show like that one time. That was fun. Yeah. That was a good time.
Yeah, Matt sat me down. He's like, here, sit down. And he looks at the dealer. He goes, hey, I'd like to see that Vinyl Bar's Edge half set.
It was like a 64.
It was great.
Man.
It was a $750,000 coin.
Oh, man.
And it's like, and he just took it out and he handed it to us. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. I can do this.
And he flipped it over and about shat himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that's the best part about this industry too. There's so many little niches that everybody can fit into, and you can be in the same niche as other people, and that's okay. It's just sometimes it's a matter of hustle that gets you to set yourself apart from the rest of them, and that's just the way it is sometimes.
Yeah.
There is something to be said for the hustle.
Okay, so not saying that you've made it, but you're well on your way. You're well on your way. So if there are teenage numismatists that would like to start in a career in this, save them some time and give them a really good piece of advice, what would it be?
Speed run.
Lot view at auctions as much as you can, because you can see some of the best coins and some of the worst coins, you know? And it'll give you a great spectrum of quality to look at. That's definitely one of the first things I would say to do, because you just get to see so much. You know, you go to a Heritage or a Stax lot viewing, and you could pull out double row boxes on double row boxes of anything, patterns, you know, early cents,
coins that you'll never be able to afford.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see like, okay, this is what here's an MS68 Morgan. This is what a nice Morgan looks like, you know.
And then here's an MS68 Morgan that's not all that nice.
Right.
Exactly.
Like they're in the same box.
Figure out why
they're in the same box.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. That's that you run into that, and that's where you learn a lot.
So it really does come down to experience and knowledge.
Just the more stuff you can see, the more of a database you have in your head of what you want to look for. It's, you know, it definitely helps. I mean, another piece of advice I would give is that numismatic takes you a lot further than just looking at data on a computer. You know, you actually have to know what you're doing and read the books and study the coins. You know, anybody can look at a gray sheet number and say, well, this is what the wholesale number is, so I'll pay you a little bit less than that, you know. But that's not really numismatic knowledge. It's just reading numbers on a screen, you know.
That's wholesale coins.
That's wholesale, baby. Yeah, that's the thing. And wholesale, like I said, there are some guys that will buy certain coins. Like they'll buy coins that are graded no matter what they look like. Yeah. There is a number. Yeah. They will say, I will pay X amount of dollars for any coin that is in any of this coin that's in a PCGS 66 holder. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it looks like. I will pay this number.
I saw a 68 Morgan today that fit that exact description.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of tone, some of it good, some of it not so much.
It's called like the sight unseen number.
68, I don't think I'd ever want to buy a coin like that. I just don't.
Yeah.
Especially not for 6 figures.
And I got handed one of the most spectacular Morgans I've ever seen yesterday. I got handed an 85cc in 68.
Very nice.
Just an absolute monster. Probably one of the nicest Morgans I've ever seen. So
I saw an 81S today in 66 PL. And you get a 66 PL on an 81S, that coin better be a monster.
Yeah, it's a dimple in every other date.
Yeah.
So what do you guys got going on? Anything you're involved in over there that you want to talk about? Or
any projects going on?
Yeah, they got you working on some super secret projects that you can talk about.
That you can't talk about but will?
No, don't get him in trouble.
Yeah, I can't get in trouble. I can't incriminate myself here.
Chad told us.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh, I got a lot of stuff going on, man. I get into the office, pull out my cart, you know, and it's just projects on projects I'm working on. But like, you know, a lot of, you know, we buy deals in, some of it's got to get wholesaled out, you know, got to take care of that, or, you know, working on want lists for people, just a lot of different projects, a lot of small projects that, you know.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
But you found your career?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, pretty good.
I told you some of my best friends are in this hobby. I can't leave it. You know,
I couldn't tell you what I was going to do when I was your age. I was flipping burgers, I think. So
I was selling shoes.
Shoes like Al Bundy?
Yeah, just like Al Bundy. Children's shoes.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I learn something about you every day.
There's lots to learn. I got quite a past.
Let's check in with the chat real quick. George Current says, hey guys, love the content. Wish I could be there. We wish you could be here too.
We wish you could be here.
I have met some great people today. I met a gentleman today at the show here that has been doing coins exactly 3 days, and he wanted to come say hi because one of the first videos he saw was us. So
no, it was you.
Oh, it was me?
Was you with T the Silver Stacker?
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But we got to talk to him and give him some advice, and he's hooked. He bought a coin. He spent $250 on a coin. So
he did. And he actually made a pretty decent purchase.
Yeah. And Slab Daddy says, oh, Jack.
Hi, Slab Daddy.
Eric Breyer thought that was good. Southern Coin Hunter says, hello, all. Finally found this podcast. Well, we're finally glad that you're here.
Yes.
Hanging out with us here at the Whitman Coin Expo.
So if you are in the Baltimore area, again,
tomorrow,
you need to come by.
Tomorrow
Saturday.
Yep.
You know, it's a good show. There's a lot of business here. There's a lot of traffic. There's some really cool coins. Meet people like Jack. Meet people like Matt.
Oh, geez.
Meet people like you.
Nah, you don't want to. But anyway, so yeah, you should stop up. It's at the convention center here in downtown Baltimore, down by the
Inner Harbor.
Inner Harbor. That's it.
Yes, sir. Well, Jack, I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy. I know you got coin deals to go by.
I've already felt my phone ring twice. So.
Oh, well, I'm out of here. We'll let you go.
That's business calling.
It's okay. Business can wait for these guys.
Oh,
that's okay. You know what we're going to do is we're going to have you on from time to time, like every 5 years, so we can follow along with your career.
Oh,
next time I'll have a beard down to like my chest.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Thank
really
you.
Starting to fill in, guy.
A little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.